been on an absolute fucking tear, and they've just been running up ever since. It's been really good. They're back up towards that $20 mark as well. What's up, everyone? Ross here again with the Degen project. And first of all, I want to apologize for my slight hiatus. Been a little bit busy in the last week. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually working remotely in Mexico right now. So I'm trying to get in a little bit of fun stuff before I head back home in a couple weeks time. But with that being said, today I wanted to introduce you guys to the first ever Tuesday Newsday. So what I'd like to do on a weekly basis is every Tuesday, just do a quick recap of all the projects that we're talking about and discussing on this channel to just kind of give you guys a nice little update of where things are at, kind of market conditions and things like that as well. Now, I'm not going to be elaborating on a whole bunch of different things outside of what we're talking about on this channel. So if any of the projects, that I've been talking about or doing spotlights on, typically those are going to be the projects that I'm going to be talking about here and featuring and just kind of giving you guys some updates on it. So I really hope you guys enjoy this. I'm going to be doing this every week. So with that being said, let's dive into it. Now, first on the list is my 100 subscriber giveaway. So again, I've just been way too busy, and I really do apologize for everyone who was subscribed, and we're looking forward to a 100 subscriber giveaway. With that being said, we're at over 140 already. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push that benchmark a little bit further to 200 subscriber giveaway to buy myself a little bit of time, because there's a lot of cool stuff that I want to get set up for this little giveaway to give back to all of you guys who have subscribed and have been following my channel and giving me massive support. So again, I really do appreciate you all. Definitely going to be setting something up for that. So without further ado, let's dive into the news. So Outback Finance, this is a project that I talked about. It was about a week ago where I kind of talked about Outback Finance, did a little bit of a spotlight on it. It also met one of my videos where I did a bit of an announcement or an update on the project on how everything's going. If you don't know anything about this or you didn't watch that video, I will link it in the top corner here for you. But Outback Finance is essentially a Sphere fork. And they have been kind of waiting to launch on Sphere version 2. But unfortunately, that contract's taking a little bit longer. So they're kind of meeting in the middle. They're doing like a 1.5 launch. And then eventually they'll be migrating to Sphere version 2 contract. Now, Outback Finance had a public pre-sale about a week ago where they sold out $350,000 hard cap for the public pre-sale in less than 7 minutes. So there was a ton of hype around this project. I just really hope that the hype is going to continue for the public launch, which actually happens, as you can see here, in less than 12 hours. So the public launch for Outback Finance is going to be April 27th, and it's at 3 p.m. UTC or 8 a.m. PST or 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time EST. So keep an eye out for this. I really hope the momentum's continuing to build. I look at the Discord all the time, and there's still a ton of people in there really hyped up for this project. So I really think this is going to be a great launch, and I'm looking really forward to see what happens tomorrow morning when they go live and they launch. Next up, we got Ruby Finance. Now, for those of you who watched one of those other videos, I was like, hey, I'm getting 8% from this project. Unfortunately, this thing is like flopping really hard right now. So I did mention in the video, I was like, look, if you guys are investing in something like this, it's 8% a day. It is purely Ponzi-nomics. Put in your risk capital. Sure enough, everything is kind of slowing down here. The contract is constantly getting depleted of AVAX. People are just taking the rewards and they're piecing out, right? They're taking off. So the daily rewards has just been dropped. You can see here daily returns up to 8% because they're not producing that 8% daily at all anymore. It's going down significantly. So I'm just casually taking my rewards out as I can. And unfortunately, this is a bit of a flop. My sentiment, honestly, I know this is, the Degen project, but at the end of the day, some of these projects that are like stupid high daily earnings, like 8% a day, like that's just obviously not sustainable, and it's just a pure Ponzi. So I think I'm going to be staying away from a lot of these projects. I kind of feel like, Baked Beans was the very first one. It was kind of like Titano in the sense, right? Where there's all of these other rebase programs that are now forking off of Titano. Baked Beans is the OG. Now there's all of these other miners that are forking off of Baked Beans, and it's like, it's already getting exhausted. And I think there's just a lot of money to lose in this. Now, don't get me wrong. There's probably some of these projects that are going to get some nice traction and are going to grow. There's like a Chef's Kitchen or something like that. That is a new one that's out. But look, at the end of the day, for me, it's just like, it's just no point. I would rather find some projects that are still fairly high risk, but they actually got some legs behind them that I can share with you guys. And hopefully we all together can make some money on some slightly degenerate projects. But these ones, I think I'm just fucking staying away from them, free and clear in the future. So next up, we got Ape Militia. Now, I did a video on Ape Militia. Again, I'll link it in the top corner here of the video. But this is a really cool project where it's an NFT where the proceeds of it are going to be leveraged and injected into Bitcoin mining. So what that means is that your NFT is essentially a share or a pass in that collective mining pool, and you will get rewarded once a year in Bitcoin for holding these NFTs. Now, you do have to hold a minimum of 2 at a time. Now, this project caught my eye. I really liked it. I thought the utility was very unique. I've been in a lot of NFT projects, and I know kind of the importance of having a really strong community and some really good utility to keep people around and keep that buying pressure and people wanting to get their hands on these NFTs. Now, unfortunately, the team got absolutely slapped by a downage from Infura. They suffered an outage, and there was a lot of DApps within the Ethereum network that were down for a few days. This happened to Ape literally on their launch day, and they were trying to launch, they were trying to get things going, but their contract was just failing. They had many, restless days and nights, unfortunately, trying to get things up. They pulled in tons of consultants to look at their contract. Everything was good. They couldn't figure out until they realized, hey, there's actually an outage in the network. It's not the contract. So unfortunately, that's really slowed down their mint. Now, if we take a look at what's going on right now, so far they've minted 330 NFTs out of 10,000. One thing that I will mention is the initial price that they're minting in, and I think I mentioned it in the last video, it's a little bit high, right? It's a little bit expensive. 0.4 Ethereum, that's over $1,000, even with the price of Ethereum down a little bit right now. It's still over $1,000 for a mint. And for a project that's pretty much brand new, that doesn't have a track record, right? They don't have another NFT project that they've launched successfully to kind of back them up and prove what they're able to deliver upon. This is a very high asking price. Now, I get it, right? You need a lot of funds to actually set up and run Bitcoin mining, but I feel like this price point is just way too high. You're setting the barrier to entry too high for most people, right? A lot of NFT projects usually mint around 0.1 ETH or less, right? So you're looking at like $300-400 or less for minting an NFT. Ape Militia is actually doing a flash sale essentially for this first week of their launch, right? Again, they were delayed a few days. They then finally got it up and launched. There was the whitelist that people were able to come in and mint. And so what they're kind of doing right now as a bit of a flash sale until I think they're going to do it to the end of this week till Friday is you can actually mint one of these NFTs for 0.1 Ethereum. So if you guys are interested in this project, again, I really like it. I think it's really cool. I think they've got a lot of good utility here with it being able to actually yield you Bitcoin. Like, I like having a Bitcoin play because I'm like way too decentralized in like all these other cryptos, and I'm not actually really that strong in Bitcoin. So I like this play. I think it makes sense. So for those of you who are interested, again, they're doing a mint until Friday for 0.1 ETH. So if you want to jump in, you have a great opportunity right now. Personally, in the long term, I hope they keep it at this price because I think they're going to be able to get a lot more people interested in minting this for 0.1 Ethereum. It's a price point that makes a lot more sense for the majority of people's wallets, especially considering you need to hold 2 in order to actually earn the rewards, right? So instead of having to spend 0.8 Ethereum to participate in the Bitcoin rewards, which is almost, $2,500, $3,000, depending when you're watching this video, or even more, 0.2 ETH, it's a much lower barrier to entry. So $600, people can jump in and they can benefit from the Bitcoin mining yield as well. Next up, we got Helena Finance. Now, Helena Finance has been on an absolute fucking tear. If you guys remember one of the other videos, I did like the slow where I'm like dragging through the chart and it goes up and up and it just like dumps down. So they kind of dropped down quite a bit. They had a little bit of price discovery down here around like $9-10, and they've just been running up ever since. It's been really good. They're back up towards that $20 mark as well. Remember, I was able to enter this project just sub $12 back here before it went on that first run, dropped down a little bit, got a little bit down here. I was feeling a little depressed, but remember, this is a 1,000,000% APY in this project. So from the time I purchased all the way till now, plus almost doubling in the price per token, combined with that 1,000,000% APY, has been absolutely fantastic. So Helena's doing great things. They're killing it. I'm really looking forward to see the long term of this project, to see how long we can go with this. And at a certain point, I probably might start taking some of my initial out at least to make sure I'm made whole before we just kind of let it ride further on. Next up, we got Sphere Finance. Now, Sphere Finance, look, it's kind of like the redheaded stepchild in the room. From their launch, and their pre-sale again was at 0.1 cents per token was their pre-sale, like their whitelist sale. They ran up to almost 12 cents, which is 120x. Do you think it would drop like this? I mean, yeah, it's like 120x is ridiculous. I hope a lot of people managed to take out a lot of profits here, which it looks like based on the sell volumes, a lot of people were able to take out some massive profits. So congratulations to them. Now, this being said, there was also some AMAs that they had. They had some other discussions and announcements where they're talking about kind of adjusting the rebase percentage. So it's not going to be 99,900 all the time, because look, at the end of the day, that's unsustainable. Anyone who thinks 99,000% APY is sustainable, they're wrapping their lips around a crack pipe a little bit, in my opinion, right? It's not sustainable. So they have plans to kind of have a bit of an adjustment bar that they can kind of move around based on sell pressure and a lot of dynamic things. Plus, they're wanting to implement a lot more deflationary mechanisms like buybacks and burns, which in my opinion is a great idea. So right now where we're at, you can see we're kind of flatlined. We're at kind of a little bit of a price discovery right now. I think this is a fantastic purchase right now to get in. If you guys missed the Sphere train, but you want to jump in because, you know, there's a lot of hype around this. Simsol and the team there, they've got a lot of great ideas. I think they still have a lot of potential. They're starting up all kinds of new services and businesses within the crypto space that I think is going to be phenomenal. I think they're really revolutionizing a lot of things here. So the long-term play for this project, I think, is just a very solid hold, and buying in right now at 3 cents per token is a pretty good opportunity. So that's a quick little rundown on Sphere. Last but not least, we have Million Dollar Baby. Now, Million Dollar Baby is coming up to their launch. They got an AMA tomorrow on the Obsidian Council. That's April 27th, and that's going to be at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time or 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, that's in the Obsidian Council Discord where they're going to be holding that AMA. So that's going to be really, really cool. And then, of course, their launch date is this Friday, April 29th at 8 p.m. UTC. Or 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. So the launch for Million Dollar Baby is going to be super amped up. I'm really excited for this. And there's another reason why I'm really excited is because there was some quick numbers that were shared inside the Discord from the Godfather, one of the core team members of Million Dollar Baby. And I want to share with you guys that real quick. But first, before we do that, I want to show you what kind of investments Million Dollar Baby has been doing so far in the fund, because they've basically done all of their pre-sales. They've raised all their funds. Now they're injecting it into a lot of investments. So let's jump in real quick and let's take a look at what kind of investments they're making with this project. All right, so first up, we have an investment in Sphere Finance. Now, unfortunately, this was done at around I think it was around the 10-cent mark per coin. So currently they're down roughly 70% on this, unfortunately. But again, I mean, in long term, I don't think it's that bad. I think there's going to be a lot of recovery. I think long-term, again, which is this kind of investment, it is a very long-term investment in Sphere Finance. I think it can do very well. Sphere Finance, there was $109,468.16 invested. And again, it's a 99,990% APY. The risk category for this investment was high. They have a buy swap farm investment on the BNB and buy swap pair, BSW pair, $150,000 investment on 130% APY, risk category medium. Another buy swap farm investment on the BUSD and USDT swap, pair. So this is a stablecoin farm, 10.9%. This is a low risk category, of course. Whenever you're farming stablecoins, you're solid, right? You don't really have to worry about too much of fluctuation in crypto markets. Safu, an investment in Safu. This is actually a really solid project. I was able to jump into this. So far, I'm at like a 2.5x on my initial investment in Safu, which is a really cool, another rebase project. They got like a racing team and shit they're sponsoring. So this project is really cool. They're doing a lot of buybacks and burns. Safu is a great one. So they did a $30,000 investment. Safu is another rebase project, 382,945.41% APY, and of course risk category high, as is all APY projects. Another buy swap farm investment. So buy swap farm on the BNB USDT pair. So a $300,000 investment, 22.48% APY and low risk category. Titano investment, so $45,000 invested into Titano, which I think is really good timing considering Titano is releasing V2. There's been like a nice price movement upward trend. So this was a great investment they made a little while ago of $45,000 at, again, Titano rebase project, the OG, the godfather of it, 102,483.58% APY, but of course risk category is high. And then we also have a pancake swap farm investment here in the Cake/BNB pair. Now, I think this is a really solid one. The risk category here is medium, but realistically and personally, like Cake and BNB, they're really top coins. Cake, I mean, not so much. BNB is a huge market cap, right? They're in the top coins, top 10. And I think Cake right now, like the price action on it is very, very good. So I think long-term, this is a really good swap for any of you who are interested in any liquidity pool farming. This is a fantastic one. They put in $200,000 investment for a 59% APY on this. Risk category medium. I personally feel like it's a little bit of a low risk category just because Cake and BNB are really solid tokens. And for the Binance Smart Chain, it's a fantastic protocol. I think this is a really great investment. Buy Swap Farm, another one here. We got the USDT and BSW swap or pair. I keep calling it a swap, but it's a pair. $130,000 investment, 122.69% APY. Risk category is low. Now, here's some numbers that the Godfather posted in the Discord today, which was really cool. So he was sitting down with a bunch of math nerds and they're like, all right, let's crunch some numbers here. Let's do a scenario. So they ran this launch scenario of saying, hey, what would happen theoretically if on launch, the market cap crashed 50%, right? Like we just got cut in half. So here's the scenario, right? There's 1 billion tokens in supply at launch. 100 million tokens are in the liquidity pool paired with $300,000 of BNB. Again, the liquidity pair is MBD and BNB. Let's run the scenario. If it crashes 50%, that would mean there would be 133,333,333 tokens in the liquidity pool paired with $200,000 of BNB. The market cap would then be $1.5 million and the price per coin would be 0.15 cents. Launch is 0.3 cents, so that's a 50% drop. But here's the cool part, and this is the power of the trust fund and the Phoenix. So in that event, right, the trust fund, which is already large, it's got I think it's over $1.5 million in the trust fund, could then buy 5% of the supply, pumping in $120,000. The trust fund then burns that supply, right? What they buy, they burn. That is the whole deflationary aspect of this. And there is a fixed limit of tokens, right? There's only starting with 1 billion tokens. And as time goes on and the trust fund and the Phoenix mechanism get enabled, they're buying and burning tokens out of supply. So now there's only 950 million tokens in supply. That would equal 83,333,333 out of threes tokens in the liquidity pool paired with $320,000 of BNB. Now here's the numbers, right? Now the market cap before the burn was 3.84 million. After the burn, the market cap is 3.648 million, which gives the price of the token 0.384 cents per token, which means that would increase the value of the token 2.56 times from being down 50%, right? So when the token was 50% down, if you bought then, and then the trust fund buys and burns, you would go up 2.56 times your initial investment. And you would also be, if you had bought from launch, you would be up 28% from your initial investment if you bought at launch at 0.3 cents per token. So this again is I love the fact that he spent some time and did these numbers, because this is what I've been talking about this project, is that there is the trust fund there that is earning interest on all of its different investments. That interest can be used to buy and burn tokens out of supply, increasing the value of the token. So I love the fact that these numbers were run. I wanted to give you guys the scenario and just break down some of these numbers for you. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to make sure you get alerted when any of my new videos come out. And with that being said, guys, again, I really appreciate you watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.